Hey guys, I'm Siobhan, officially an internal medicine and rheumatology specialist. That's right, I'm officially done with 5 years of residency, 15 years of university, and for the first time, I don't have an entire year schedule planned out, no big deadlines pending, but I do have some exciting plans that I want to share with you. Finishing residency, I thought that I was just gonna feel pure happiness, bliss. But after the excitement wore off, I started to really reflect on who I am now compared to who I was 8 years ago when I started medical school. I was extremely fit and physically active. I was practicing violin 3 to 4 hours a day, plus performing with the symphony on top of that. And then all of a sudden, my life completely changed entering medical school. The focus became absorbing as much information as possible and learning to think like a doctor. I loved it. I felt like I had a new purpose in life, working towards something much bigger than myself. I felt inspired by each patient's unique story, and the more I learned, the more I really realized how fragile life can be. And in those moments, I committed to myself that I was never going to take my life or my health for granted. And yet, ironically, the trade-off for this amazing medical training was playing violin less, becoming more sedentary, and often getting sleep deprived. And I accepted it. I said, okay, this is temporary. But after 5 years of residency, it actually starts to feel like the new normal, and that scares me. So here I am emerging from residency, working through a global pandemic. I've definitely grown so much as a person. But don't let that fool you. There's still so much that I need to figure out. And actually, I feel like now I'm asking more deep questions about life than ever before. Maybe that's because as a doctor you see people going through such challenging times in their lives. And maybe that's why I keep asking myself, what makes a fulfilling life? Being a doctor is incredibly meaningful work. And yet, we've all seen that not all doctors are satisfied and happy with their life. So then clearly the job isn't the key to happiness and fulfillment. There's something else. My heart tells me that it has something to do with connecting with other people and working towards something that's bigger than yourself, which really are reasons that I went into medicine and then started doing YouTube to connect with you guys. So I think you're getting the sense this is a huge transition point in my life, and it's really got me reflecting on some big questions. And the same thing is happening to my husband Mark, who also finished residency recently. So we've decided to do something different. We've decided to go hiking in Europe for 2 to 3 months. Months, not 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months. We're gonna have our backpacks on, start in Geneva, head over the Alps, and then go from town to town in Italy until maybe Rome. Honestly, until we're actually doing it, I think it's gonna be hard to know how far we can get. It's gonna be massive. So Mark has started calling this our vision quest, because a hike like this isn't just about getting away or getting into nature. It's about slowing down, about erasing that to-do list, and having an intensely personal experience of growth. It's about meditation with each step, grounding yourself in the moment, and that allows you to reflect on life, reflect on the past, dream about the future, and hopefully dream about the people that we want to grow into. I have done long hikes in the past, but nothing this big. The last one, I think, was when I was transitioning from music to medicine. Again, these transition points, when I went with my parents actually for 2 to 3 weeks in England. And I just remember what a mentally and physically challenging experience it was. So when I think about 2 to 3 months, it makes me a little bit nervous and excited because I just don't know what to expect. I do recognize that we are incredibly fortunate to be able to take this time, and that not everyone is in a position to be able to do something like this, which is why I'm considering sharing glimpses of the experience. But honestly, even just saying it makes me a little bit nervous because the idea of sharing something so personal is nerve-wracking, and yet I wonder if this could be helpful to other people. So it's hard to know until I'm actually there and doing it, but this is my hope. So now you're probably wondering, Siobhan, aren't you gonna actually work as a doctor? So yes, absolutely, and I'm so excited for this transition to becoming an attending physician. Rather than jumping in and starting a full-time position, Mark and I are going to do something called locums, which are like temporary positions, which gives us the flexibility to do these adventures and traveling this year.
Locum positions exist for lots of reasons. It can be covering a doctor if they're off on parental leave, sick leave, or just an extended vacation. Or it may be helping to fill staff shortages, which are becoming a growing issue these days. It's actually really common for newly graduated doctors to do locums because it allows you to try out different communities to see if you want to settle there one day.
So we'll be doing shifts at local hospitals that we're familiar with, heading to rural settings, and I really am hoping to be able to go to some remote communities in northern Canada where there's a lot of need. And of course, we'll be filming and bringing you guys along with us.
I'm also working on more videos where I'm shadowing different health professionals to give a sense of how many people are part of the medical team caring for patients. In a previous video, I asked you guys to guess why I was buying steel-toed boots. And some of you guys figured it out. I'm spending the day with paramedics, more specifically, flight paramedics who transport patients by helicopter. I'm also spending the day in stroke rehab with an occupational therapist and physiotherapist where you're going to hear the most inspiring recovery stories. Later, you'll get a glimpse into the pathology lab, which I think of like the CSI of medicine. You'll see how the pathology assistants and lab techs search for signs of health criminals like cancer and bacteria, an essential part of diagnosing patients. Then a peek behind the curtain in the radiology department to see what the radiation techs do. Everything from CT scans, MRI, and even nuclear medicine. And together, we'll find out what happens after you donate blood. How is the blood tested, prepared, before it's ready to be used in the hospital?
I see him squeezing furiously. He's trying to beat my time, isn't he? Come on. So that's what's next. A whole lot of self-discovery and a new chapter in medicine. Get ready for more vlogs, call shifts, collaborations with allied health professionals, patients, and who knows what's coming after this vision quest. I'm actually curious to find out too. So be sure to subscribe, and that way I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.